morning. My name is Ibtisam and I'm from Bahrain. I would like to thank Freedom House for shedding light on the events in my country and the things that I see every day. And I do agree with you, Maryam, that in order to find the solution to our problems, we need to know what the situation is. And I agree with you because you've been away since March. And I've been living there my whole life and I've seen it all every single day. And I tell you this, the protesters are not peaceful. I know this because I live next to a village where I see it, smell it, and hear it every single day. Molotov, cocktail, petrol bombs being thrown in front of my home, at my car. As I drive to work, there are metal rods, there are oil spilling on the streets. And I see it and I think, why are they doing this to my country? They're on my people. And I do have the same grievances that they have. I do want better jobs. I do want better reform in the government. I want more voice for myself. I'm not happy with the government working right now. I'm not happy with the bicameral system that is not fully functional as a full-fledged democracy. However, I don't choose to stay out of Bahrain and say things about my country and report word of mouth as reports of human rights. You are a human rights activist. There is a saying in a movie, Little Black Book, and it says, omission is betrayal. And I think you're betraying the Bahraini voice because you're omitting my voice. I am no pro-government, no nothing. I'm just Bahraini, and I want my country back the way it was before all this hoopla started. I want my 6 best friends who are Shia that I grew up with every day to come back to me and be my friends again. I want my aunt who was divorced from her husband who was top-tier Shia, Musawi, and they got divorced because his sisters told my aunt to leave her husband because of what's happening. And it was never the case. I grew up in a household where my father was an ex-military man. And he saw it all from the beginning of the ruling of Al-Khalifa after the independence in 1971. And he never raised me as Bahraini, never raised me and told me that you are Sunni, don't be friends with Shia. I grew up next to a village where the school that I went to, the girls are from villages, and I went to their homes, ate with them, sat with them. I know that our caliber as Bahrainis is just being Bahrain. There's no Sunni, no Shia. I think what made us think of it and portray it this way is because some people want to create critical mass and gain political ground and really rally people behind them. So they use that divide as a vehicle. When I went to the roundabout,
can I ask you to? I'm happy to have you, but can I ask you to offer a question?
One more comment and I have the question.
Okay, please.
When I went to the roundabout because I wanted a better job, I want a future for the future kids that I will have that is better for them, whether it's political or economic or whatever. And second by second, I see my voice being hijacked, and that's totally against the pinnacle and the center of human rights. Meaning, my question is for Freedom House and everyone, why aren't the people like me on this panel? Why do we hear reports of killings and torture and everything, and not people like me who are not affiliated with anyone? I just want my country back to me and to all Bahrainis, regardless of our backgrounds, sit and talk there and say that they are not happy with the government, not happy with everything. They just want to sit civilized and talk.
Thank you. Okay, let me ask you first if you want to.
Sure. Of course, I did already talk about that there has been groups within the protesters who have announced that they will be retaliating against the forces. So I have acknowledged that that does happen. Of course, like I said, it needs to be seen through context. When you have a situation where a year later you have more than 60 people killed, you have thousands tortured, you have thousands imprisoned, you have thousands sacked, when you have the families of those who were killed harassed and targeted by the security forces. Raleigh here it's not the only member of a family of someone who was killed that's been harassed and targeted. We receive reports from families in the center time and time again that because they have a member of their family who was killed during the unrest, they are time and time again being targeted. In the case of Ali Al-Momin, who was killed on the 17th of February, I was there in the roundabout myself. I saw what happened. His family, his 2 brothers, have both been arrested. One has been sentenced to 2 years imprisonment, and the other one, who's a student, is also now in prison. The father is left with no sons. And this is not a case that is singular to one family. This is a case that's widespread. I am sorry that there are people, and I understand that there are people who find it very disturbing that they can't go to the mall or that they can't go to their jobs on time, that, you know, there are blocks put up on the road. The blocks are put there because the protesters are run over by the security forces in their jeeps. So they set up these blocks so that the riot police cannot drive fast into their villages and run them over. It might be bad for other people, yes. Does it, harm the interests of other residents? Yes. But it's a life and death matter for some of these protesters. That's why I think that the situation does need to be seen through context. This word betrayal, it's been used time and time again in Bahrain. Anyone who comes out and protests is told that they're committed a betrayal against their government. There are numerous, countless accounts of human rights reports from Human Rights Watch, from Amnesty International, from Freedom House, from all of these different international organizations who have documented the ongoing human rights violations in Bahrain. This is not something just the Bahrain Center for Human Rights is talking about.